Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic. Today we're down in Sheffield with a first TransPennine Express liveried Class 185. We're off to Manchester Piccadilly today down the absolutely fantastic Just Trains Hope Valley. Fantastic livery. I could actually go as far as to say that this is my favourite livery on a train of all time. I mean, it's so bright, it's so vibrant, it's so colourful, and I mean, there's no doubt in anyone's mind back in the day that this was a first TransPennine Express train. You weren't going to get it confused, say, with the East Midlands, which is again a very bright and vibrant livery, or indeed Northern over there. Oh, look, there's another one. That'll be the Cleethorpes bound service. So yeah, really nice. Really nice train, really gorgeous livery, and oh, we're back in the days with NRM. It's actually 2011 on this, so yeah, it's also the days with the old interior, which I absolutely love, the same as on the first buses, of course, of that era, with the sprinkles maquette and the turquoise poles. It really did stand out, didn't it, as a first group train. But yeah, we're going to be driving 1 Bravo 79 today, which we have actually already driven on the channel, but we've driven it in the modern day. That was a completely different scenario. So today we're going to be driving this particular scenario, which again set in 2011. We're off. It's obviously a Manchester Airport bound service. Maximum speed is 100 mile an hour. Oh, we're doing the MRN. You'll need to tab a signal on approach to Piccadilly. Right, okay, well, we'll hopefully not need to do that. Right, are we ready? Right, off we go. Full steam ahead towards Manchester. Now, the plan of action today is to do, as we usually do, about 50% and then come back and do the other 50% of the video, just to keep it in nice little bite-sized chunks. So yeah, we're going to see how far we can get. It reckons that Stockport is in 8.24 miles in the bottom left-hand corner, which I'm sure I needn't tell you, but it is not. Stockport is a little bit further from Sheffield than 8.24 miles. Just take the power off a little bit there. 1411. So this now, of course, this 1411 service does go through to Liverpool. These Cleethorpes services go to Liverpool Lime Street via the Cheshire lines down through Warrington. It's very weird, isn't it? Now that they all go to Liverpool, it's hard to remember the time when they actually did go to the airport. It seems like such a long time ago, doesn't it? Right, off we go. That'll be a Leeds service if it's Class 158 going the other way there. It's weird because I do remember this time so well, but yet it just seems like a lifetime ago. You know, before 195s, before the 142s disappeared, before the new 185s came, before the new 802s and all that came. It seemed like such a simpler time, didn't it, on the railways? There's a lot of confusion at the moment. I think with every train operating company, everything just seems a little bit hectic, whereas this just seemed to be the days where everything was just a lot more simple. I don't know, did anyone else feel like that? Maybe it wasn't, maybe, I mean, I didn't work on the railways at the time, so perhaps it's like the outsider looking in, but it all just seemed to be a lot less complicated. Right, off we go again, full steam ahead. So we're powering, well, we're actually on the Midland Main Line at the moment, aren't we? If we don't turn off at Dore and Totley, we will end up down in Leicester if we carry on going, which actually some of the 185s did have programmed into their destination for a time. They had Leicester and Derby. So you can only wonder what the plan was for them if they had Nottingham, Leicester and Derby. Maybe the East Midlands were going to take them at one point, who knows. Really getting a wriggle on now, aren't we? Look at that. Just take the power off a little bit. There's no point putting it in speed set, I don't think. Ooh, Voyager. That'll be the Edinburgh service. It's funny that after all this time, the timetables around Sheffield just haven't changed. I know that the TransPennine Express Cleethorpes service, which we've just seen going the other way, usually comes in on platform 1, and then shortly after that there's a cross country to Edinburgh. Double flashing yellow. Right, shall we? We'll carry on powering up here for the time being, anyway. So we should have a single flash in yellow. Of course, if you're not au fait with your signalling, that's oh, Tesco. That's denoting that we're coming off the main line, and we're going onto a slower line. So obviously, as you can see at the bottom there, that's the 50 mile an hour section you can see. And I picked this scenario today because, of course, we have been having some inclement weather, and I thought, you know what would be better than a nice snowy drive across the Hope Valley? I mean, it's gorgeous weather. Hopefully that's going to continue all the way across. Have we got a yellow signal? I think we have, haven't we? I mean, I'm approaching it very, very... Yeah, there you go. You can see it's a yellow. I'm approaching it very quickly if it's a red. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think if it was a red, we'd be stopping. Keep the power on a little bit, because obviously it is still an uphill gradient. Hopefully, when we're going up the Hope Valley, I'll be able to get some really nice shots of the 185. I mean, particularly in the white, the sort of grey of winter, this livery really does stand out, doesn't it? I mean, it looks great all year round, in my opinion. There's some people that really don't like this livery. I really don't understand how you can't like it. Then again, personal opinions, it's good that they're all different, isn't it? It's what makes up this world. It keeps it interesting. You know what I might do while we're here? I might try and get a... Oh, it's in the shadow. I don't want the shadows. Now I'll have to go from the other direction then when we get further up the line, won't we? Dore and Totley there. Of course, some TransPennine Express services do stop there at peak time, don't they? But this 1411 service is not one of them. It's on single line. They are actually working to put 2 tracks in here and have it as dual line all the way up. It'll be interesting to see, but they're making good headway with it. And of course, this single track here comes from Chesterfield. Makes like a little triangle there. And away we are on the Hope Valley, people. I reckon we can actually get up to speed now. The Dore signal box on the left hand side. And of course whizzing away to Disley Tunnel here. Now this is of course 70 miles an hour for us up here. Unfortunately, we can't follow the sprinter speeds of 90 miles an hour, so we can only do 70. It's a bit of a disappointment, isn't it? The good news is, though, however, with the... I mean, East Midlands currently run 170s and class 158s over this line. Well, they've run 158s over this line for a long time, haven't they? But yeah, they've run... With them running 158s, they can obviously do 90s, so you'd immediately think, well, hang on a second. Surely East Midlands being faster over here than the TransPennine Express services, with TransPennine Express only being able to do 70 miles an hour as opposed to 90, but because these are... Why is the speed set disengaging? That's a weird bug with this that they never fixed, isn't it? Yeah, with the TPE services, the 185s are so much quicker up to speed that they sort of average each other out. It takes exactly the same amount of time to get over the Hope Valley. One thing that I really do like about this train, and you notice it so much more than with other units, is the wobble on it. It's 185s are very top-heavy units because of the massive air conditioning pods on the top. Let's just not forget to cancel that. Yeah, because of the massive air conditioning pods on the top, they're really top-heavy units. So you do get quite a wobble, and this unit on TrainSim really does replicate that so well. You really do get a sense of speed compared to some of the other units, which I really, really do enjoy. Totley Tunnel is one of these tunnels where it's such a long tunnel, you feel like you're never going to come out of it. It just goes on forever and ever and ever. I would say, I'd hazard a guess that this was longer than, it's probably the longest tunnel on the TransPennine network, I would say. Am I thinking? Yeah, because it's longer than Coburn Tunnel. It's certainly longer than Stanage and Summit Tunnel. Yeah, prove me wrong. Go on, you'll probably know better than me, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me know in the comments section. I'm pretty sure this is the longest tunnel. This is where it turns out I'm wrong. There'll be one tunnel that I'm completely missing. Like, Joe, what about that one? Like, oh yeah, of course. Duh. So after we come out of this tunnel, this is like proper Hope Valley now. This is where the proper scenery starts, between here and Coburn Tunnel. That's, I mean, it's quite nice actually around Chinley as well, but this is like the proper, this is where all the money shots are, isn't it? We'll be powering out of the tunnel straight into Grindleford. Got quite a nice curve on the platform at Grindleford. It's what I am going to do as well is I'm going to probably wait for the DSD to go. There we go. I promise you I didn't do that deliberately. And I'm going to go outside and pause it there, because that is going to be a lovely shot. Look at that. Grindleford. Oh, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm going to get that with the with that in the background maybe, or a bit more. Yeah, that's lovely. Look at that. That's so pretty. I have one of them, and what's it like at the other side? Actually, really, really nice as well. Right, okay. I'll have a couple of shots. I'll have another one there. Why not? Oh, doesn't it look good? Right, back in the cab now. Pay attention. Come on, you're meant to be driving this thing. Oh, 158 going the other way. Give him a wave. It is one thing this unit's missing. I really do wish that they'd fix it. When you go past a 185 in real life, Sprinter 75, we'll stick at 70 then. Yeah, when you go past a 185 in real life, you get the zoom, zoom, zoom. You know, like the 158 just made a noise then. You get the drone with these, but these don't make a noise on train sim when you go past them, and I really wish they'd add that in. I really do wish they'd add it in. It does feel like this unit still has so much potential, but it sort of feels to me a little bit like right, we've done that, that's it, there's no more updates for it. I could be wrong, they could be working on something, but obviously I'm not aware of it, so a thousand apologies to the ATS group if it does actually turn out that they are working on something. But yeah, it does sort of feel like with the flirt on the way, all the attention's been turned to that, and it's like, well, hang on, this unit still does have quite a bit that needs doing to it. And don't get me wrong, it's still a fantastic unit to drive, but I just feel like there's certain little tweaks that could be made just to make it better. It could be so much better. I always feel these buildings on the right hand side don't really fit with the aesthetic of the area. You know, it feels like quite an oldie worldy area, doesn't it? And those buildings are just not quite, they just don't really fit, do they, with like the old cottages that you see here. They stick out like a sore thumb in real life. They've done a really good job, actually, Just Trains, of replicating that on this route. I'm actually sort of hoping that Just Trains are going to do some more. I know it's a pipe dream, isn't it? But I'd really like Just Trains to do the Bolton line. I was driving up and down here the other day, and I thought, do you know what? This is actually an incredibly detailed line. I think this is one of my favourite lines to drive, you know. For the amount of detail, it's incredible. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, hang on, we're going to start. We'll have to take speed set off here. Going downhill. Just try and keep it at a nice, decent speed there. Rightio, back uphill, so we'll pop it back in speed set. There we go, that'll do. Yeah, I feel like, what was I saying? So Just Trains make some really, really detailed routes. This route just looks so good, the clutter. And I say exactly the same with OMSI maps. It's the clutter that brings it to life, you know, like the sort of, just everything that goes on, which doesn't necessarily stand out to you, but it's there. you know, in the background. It just makes it look alive and busy. This route really does that well. It does it fantastic. I mean, the first time we drove this route, if you remember, I seem to recall being absolutely wowed by it. I really wish they'd do the Manchester Airport to Bolton line, because that is a line that I do enjoy, travelling up and down in real life. Really do enjoy that line, weirdly enough. I don't know why. I can't think of anything specific about it, but yeah, I really do like that line, and it would make me sad. I mean, the Huddersfield to the Leeds to Manchester line via Huddersfield that Just Trains did wasn't particularly good. There was a lot wrong with that route. They have made improvements, don't get me wrong, but compared to this, it's absolutely garbage. You know, it feels quite rushed. I haven't really taken the time of day on that, but yes, I wouldn't want Dove, and that's actually quite a shame for Dovetail, because usually their routes are actually pretty good. I know I play hell about the trains, but yeah, their routes are really good. So it was a shame when it turned out that wasn't. But yeah, I really want these guys to make the Manchester Airport to Preston via Bolton. That'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Really, really good. I mean, to be fair, ATS do make very good routes, but they always leave too much of a gap between the platforms and the trains. You'd have to like be a proper long jumper to actually get off the train. So look at that, how you're getting thrown about there. That's brilliant. As you're going over the points. What have we got? Have we got a 66 in the left-hand side there? Looks like it, doesn't it? Freightliner one. And of course, you'll have noticed we're already on the old semaphore signalling. It's just nice, isn't it, being able to just put the speed set on and just plod up the Hope Valley. It's really, really lovely route. Again, sprint speed 75, we're still on 70. I thought we could do 75 up here in the 185, to be honest with you. It's probably how I keep arriving at Stockport early. Oh, back on colour light signals. It is weird, isn't it, how they only did sort of, you know, the half of it's still semaphore. You'd have thought that when they last modernised it, it'd have all been done in one go, wouldn't you? But it's just weird that there's still a tiny little patch of semaphore. I mean, I really like that. It just, I think it adds character. I mean, I know it sounds like such a typical, like, doesn't want things to modernise, doesn't want things to change attitude, but I really do hope that they don't get rid of those semaphores. I know they will, because obviously times move on, don't they? But and then when it starts all becoming in-cab signalling, we'll be there like, oh, I hope they don't get rid of the colour light signals. That would be a shame. Yeah, I don't know about that. It'll be really weird driving sort of up and down and not having signals, because that's just the way it's always been. I know on lines such as the London to Faversham high speed, the you know, that's in-cab signalling up to Ebbsfleet, is it? Yeah, I think it is Ebbsfleet. So yeah, I know that it happens in cab signalling, but yeah, it's just weird. I mean, we don't have any round where I am. Around where I live, so yeah, it's just bizarre. Just bizarre. It's a bizarre concept. I like how you can just hear the engines gently throbbing away there in the background, just keeping us moving. Oh, we're back on semaphore again. Oh, right, I see. That makes sense. What have we got coming the other way? Is this a class 70? It is. Oh, light locomotive as well. Another semaphore on the girder there. The gantry, if you will. There's talk of the 185s actually being able to go quicker down here. I think they've made some changes to the line speed, or they've made changes to the track which will allow the 170s, 185s to go quicker down here. I don't know the actual figures yet, so I wouldn't like to tell you, but yeah, there are planned improvements in place. Coming up to Coburn Tunnel now. Another very, very long tunnel. This is where we're crossing over from Derbyshire, pretty much, into Greater Manchester. I know that we've still got to go around Chinley, and that's not exactly Greater Manchester. The people of Chinley would be very offended if they heard me describe their beloved hometown as Greater Manchester. Just move that mouse cursor out of the way. Oh, hang on, we're speeding. We're speeding. I know we're not technically speeding, are we? But of course, this is where we begin our long descent down into Manchester. Well, Stockport first of all, and then Manchester. We've actually got to go past Peak Forest, haven't we, and Chinley and all that, before we get too excited about stopping at Stockport. .61 in board coming up. Right, we'll just have a little bit of initial brake just to set the power off there, set the speed off. Of course, we've got to not just only go to 60, but we've also got a 50 mile an hour coming just after that. I think that's where we get to the Peak Forest triangle, isn't it? There we go, look at that. Nice and smooth. That's actually a pretty good brake, is that? I'm pleased with that. And just take it a little bit below so we can coast, because obviously it's downhill again, isn't it? There we go, just brake below, lovely, and then we can coast around the corner. Of course, you're going to get off to the left here. I believe that takes you around to Peak Forest. And then again, like a lot of places on this line, it forms a triangle. So you've got the other line will be joining in when we've gone round this 50 mile an hour bend. Could probably actually leave it just to accelerate itself, but we're going to accelerate down here. Could just leave it to coast, but we'll never get to Stockport, will we, if we do that? There we go. We'll roll up to 70. Just about to go through. You can see the line starting to separate there. It's an island platform at Chinley. Not as good as you'd think for train spotting at Chinley. I wasn't particularly impressed. There's too many barriers around. They get in the way of your nice photos. I mean, you can stand and watch them, of course, but yeah, there's just a bit too much foliage and shrubbery. In my opinion, it didn't make for a good photo. Gorgeous location. Really, really lovely around here. Powering down towards New Mills Junction now. Where, of course, the northern stopping services, they don't actually go down through Stockport. They turn right and go through New Mills. It's only the express services. Of course, I think there's a northern at peak time in the morning. I think there's like an early morning one or a late evening one that goes via Stockport. Probably for route retention, to be honest with you, on a diversionary. It does occasionally happen if the line is blocked down New Mills. They will send the northern services via Stockport. Just keep that brake. Make sure that we're not speeding. What about a... oh, you see, look at that. Doesn't it look good with the snow? Really does look good. Oh, hang on. There we go. Of course, you've got the New Mills Viaduct, first of all, before the tunnel. And yes, well read, Joe. It's actually very, very beautiful to go over, is that? It's, you can just looking down at everyone. It's funny, isn't it, that it's just pottering away, going about their daily business. There's 185s and 170s and 158s flying overhead. So, of course, this is the laddered junction here. Luckily, we have no feather. TransPennine Express and East Midlands services do also go via Romiley, which is on the right-hand side there. That's a diversion. Just in case Stockport was blocked, so much like Northern, go via Stockport if Romiley's blocked, the vice versa. Look at that. I mean, doesn't it look fantastic? Just with the viaduct there coming up, it's a big sweeping bend round to the left. All the village over there, look at that. Really does look good. You get such a sensation of speed on these things, don't you? I think it's the wobble. I really do think it's the wobble that does it. And we've met that marker now. It's we are actually less than 8 miles from Stockport. It's begun to count down. Never understood TrainSim for doing that. Oh, hang on, we're speeding again. We're speeding. I can't believe we've managed to essentially do the entire Hope Valley. Oh, there's another 185 coming past us there, just as we head down towards Disley Tunnel. Right, well, that is where we're going to leave it for today, people. We'll pick up this journey after we come out the other end of... Well, we'll pick up this journey in Disley Tunnel, which is this tunnel you see coming up now. Yeah, it's about half an hour, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll finish this off next week. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do click the like button. It's always appreciated. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on any future episodes. Other than that, as I say, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.